हाय फ्रेंड्स, I'm प्रवीणा फर्नांडीस. आज आमी पाद्रे पियोच्या इगर्जेक वेते आसा. ते पाद्रे पियोचे ताचे पवित्र कूड आसा ते आनी ताका ते सिग्माटा जाल्ले आनी तशेंच तो जी येतले ती इगर्ज सकडे आसा ते आज आमी पळोवंक वेते आसा.
First thing that you've seen, and you've also heard the ambulance, what you see behind you, this is our hospital. Hospital built by Padre Pio, now run by the Vatican, because after Padre Pio's death it was donated to the Holy See. More than 2,000 people work there inside, so it's a very important hospital we have in this area. And behind us we have the old part of the sanctuary. See, behind me is the sanctuary, because the sanctuary of Padre Pio is divided into buildings. We have an old part of the sanctuary and the new wing. Padre Pio's body is in the new wing, where we're going afterwards. What you see in front of you is the part of the sanctuary where Padre Pio lived. His room, a little museum, the church where he celebrated his masses. Okay. I'll give you a short introduction of what happened so that you know what we're 29. He arrived here because we have a windy climate here, also in summer, so it's not as hot as in other places. And Padre Pio had a lot of problems with his health, above a respiratory problem and very high fever temperatures. After his arrival here, he felt a bit better, and he spent here the rest of his life. Padre Pio passed away at the age of 81. A lot of things happened, of course. The very first and most famous event is, of course, his stigmatization. The stigmatization happened in front of the crucifix that you see behind the window. There is a window over the entrance, so you see a cross. This is the cross in front of which Padre Pio was praying when he saw 5 rays of lights coming down on him, reaching his hands, his feet, and his side. The wounds of Padre Pio had the form of a coin on hands and feet and the form of a cross on his chest. He lost about 2 cups of blood every day, sometimes more, sometimes less, until his death. So when we think of Padre Pio's stigmata, we need to remember that they first of all were very painful, provoking him a lot of suffering. Because of the stigmata, a lot of people started to come. There were a lot of rumors about Padre Pio, so that he received a letter from the Vatican. They stopped his public office. They said, Padre, too many people are talking about you. We need to check who you are, what is happening. So for 2.5 years, Padre Pio was not allowed to celebrate Mass in public, to hear confessions, to meet his visitors. Only after they have checked everything, a second letter that gave him then permission again to meet everyone. Most people that came wanted to have a confession with Padre Pio. Padre Pio is defined the saint of confession. He spent in his confessional often 16, 17 hours a day. So I only need to add 2 things, because inside I cannot speak to not disturb other visitors. The first place that we're visiting now is Padre Pio's old tomb. So it's the place where he was buried. Padre Pio passed away on the 23rd of September, 1968. Then they opened his process of canonization. In 2002, they canonized him. And in 2008, they opened his tomb, because it's part of the process of canonization. Opened his tomb, re-exhumed his body, and put it on the view of pilgrims. So now we're going to the old tomb where he was buried in the past. After that, we'll go to the new church where his real body is exposed. After having seen the tomb, so first place the tomb, we'll go upstairs. But now let us make sure to see then also the body of Padre Pio. So I repeat, old tomb, Padre Pio's bedroom, his cell, as they are called in Franciscan friaries, and then we'll go to the cross where he was stigmatized. So the particular gift he had was gift of foreign languages. He was able to understand people coming from all over the world. And when they asked him, how is it possible? He said, I have my guardian angel. He's my personal translator. And he was able to read in the hearts and souls of people. He knew everything about people that came. So it was not easy to have confession with Padre Pio, because if you did not tell him everything, he said, and then, aren't you forgetting something? Or for those who came only for curiosity, because they wanted to see the special friar living here, he said to them, you're not here to ask pardon for your sins. You're here to see me. Go, convert yourself, and then come again. And it happened very often. He celebrated his masses for most of his years in the little church that you see on the left side. And there we'll see his room, which is also the place where he passed away. Some rooms that are like museums with all his personal habits, personal items, his habits, his shoes, his candles, his rosaries. And then we'll be in front of the crucifix. So this is the cross where he received stigmata. After that, we will exit again. Then there is a window, the window that I've told you where the cross is. This is also a window that may you have seen in some videos, Padre Pio giving his blessing with a white handkerchief. So every day he looked out from this window and blessed all his visitors. In the 50s, the little church was too small to welcome everyone. So they added this second building that you see on the right, where he offered his masses the last years of his life. What you see also here outside is a way of the cross, the steps going uphill on your right. Because Padre Pio said, who more than a sick person helps Jesus to carry his cross? This is why they are one close to the other. Because he repeated every day to all workers inside the hospital, never forget that in each sick person is Jesus. He said only faith and science will work together, will do a great job. What you're going to see now. This is the San Pio da Pietrelcina church. It was opened in 2004, so 2 years after his canonization, because the other sanctuary was too small to welcome all visitors. It's one of the biggest churches we have in Europe. The upper church has a capacity of 6,500 seats, so it's a very big one. And in the lower church, we will see Padre Pio. The designer is one of our most famous architects. His name is Renzo Piano. He's the one who designed the Osaka airport in Japan, Pompidou Center in Paris, Potsdamer Platz in Berlin, so he's working a lot. And here he designed our San Pio church. You see here's an altar outside. That means that in case of a lot of crowd or special events, we have our masses here on this square. Here we had, for example, Mass with Pope Francis, with Pope Benedict XVI. We'll enter now inside. We'll first walk through the upper church, the bigger one. So we have a walk inside so that you have also an idea of this place. It's, of course, a very modern church, opened in the 2000s. So you'll see mosaics like this, representing the story of two saints. Padre Pio, you see him on the left side, and St. Francis of Assisi, where you're going tomorrow, I've heard. Yes. Padre Pio is a Franciscan. The Capuchins are part of the Franciscan order. So everything is connected to the life of these two saints. In fact, we have also under the crucifix a symbol. This is the symbol of the Franciscans, a cross with the two arms. One is the arm of Francis and one is the arm of Jesus. You'll see them also tomorrow in Assisi. When you'll be in the lower church, we will find the body of Padre Pio, his real body, of course. His face is covered by a mask. So it's the real body of Padre Pio. It was declared intact because when they opened his tomb, his vital organs were completely intact. Part of his body was completely intact, but some parts were a bit damaged. So they preferred to cover his face with this mask, using his real hair and his real beard. You will walk in front of him, so you can touch the glass, or if you have petition, or if you want to touch something closer to him, that's the place you can do it. You'll see there inside a lot of gold. First of all, because it wants to represent the place where Padre Pio is now. He lived in poverty, as you have seen on earth. But now he's not living in poverty, but in the richness of the magnificence of the light of God. So it wants to show us what is waiting for us. And all the gold that you see there inside is the gold people in the past put on the tomb of Padre Pio, the old tomb. Rings, earrings, medals, everything was smelt and painted on the ceiling. We'll see it now when we'll go downstairs. So I repeat, upper church, so the new one, then we'll do a corridor with all these mosaics representing the story of the two saints, and then we'll be just in front of the body of Padre Pio.
ह्यो जावन असो आयचो व्हिडिओ पाद्रे पियोचे पवित्र कूड आमी हांगा पळयते आसा. ह्यो व्हिडिओ तुमकां पसंद जाल्यार लायक करा, कमेंट करा, तुमच्या फ्रेंड्साक शेअर करा. म्हजे चॅनल येदोरी सबस्क्रायब करूं ना जाल्यार चॅनल सबस्क्रायब करा. थँक्यू. टेक केअर.